Hi, kindergarten, first and second grade leaders. We're preparing for our lesson on January 17th in our series called Beginning Again. In this series, we have gone back to the book of Genesis, and we have chosen some of the greatest stories throughout the Old Testament to remind us of God's character. In our lesson today, we're going to be taking a look at Elisha and the army. I don't know if you know this story, but this is a fun story that helps us see God's character. God's character to protect us, to care for us, to know that we have needs and that He is there to meet our needs, but more than that, He is there to rescue us so that we can have right relationship with Him and live with Him forever. What we see in this story is Elisha and the Israelite people are surrounded by an enemy army. And as they are there, Elisha prays, and the servant and himself are able to see how God has put things in place to protect them, and that they do not have to be afraid because God is there with them. That's what He tried to tell the Israelite people all the way through the Old Testament is, I am here. I am here. And then He sent His Son Jesus to be that I am here person for us so that we could live a new life once we believe in Jesus here on earth and have a new life with Him for eternity in heaven. So I want to point out a couple of things to you on your small group leader guide. This first page, all of these words on this front page, that's for you. That's for you as the small group leader. We write all of this to help you grow, to help you understand the context of what we are teaching from today. So that as you are reading this in the Bible, you are understanding and knowing a little bit better how to apply this. Now, you will notice in your leader guide today, it kind of points a lot towards obedience. I want for you to focus on the character part. We want for kids to understand God's character, all right? And so, this first page is for you to study as a small group leader. You do not have to read these words word for word for your kids. It's to help guide you. Then the back page helps you know what to do once your kids are with you. And on the back page, you have a social activity. And this is what to expect. You have 2 plastic cups. You have 2 dye. They may not be exactly that color. You have 2 giant plastic tweezers, and you have some objects. Each group has a little different object based on your ability level within your group. This is for 5th graders. They have little tiny erasers. And what you're going to do for social activity, remember, is to build a relationship with a kid. When you use these social activities, you are helping that new kid have something to come in and to relate with everybody about. It is terribly uncomfortable for those of us who are extreme introverts to walk into a new setting and to not know how to talk to anybody. These games are to help you do that. I know you desire to build relationship with them and talk to them. Please do it while you play these games, because not everybody in your group is ready to talk to or knows how to talk about the things you're talking about yet. So give them something easy that they can talk about, like how hard it is to pick up these little erasers with their tweezers, or how it was so funny that so-and-so flipped their tweezers up in the air when they were trying to do this really fast. These create shared experiences, and shared experiences are a lot easier for new people to be a part of. All right, so then the way you play this game, you toss your dice, whatever number it lands on. The kids take their tweezers. You can break it into 2 teams. They can race against each other. You could just have 1 team and see how fast you can fill your cup, one little thing at a time. I rolled the number 4, so I'm going to pick up 4 objects and put it in the cup. And then once I get my 4 objects in the cup, the next person can come and roll the dice and take their turn to do the exact same thing. Now, when you have the smaller objects, it may take a little longer to fill your cup. So you can set a timer. If you have bigger objects, obviously that won't take as much time. But encourage the kids one at a time to put it into the cup. Because remember, you're building those relationships and shared experiences. Then you can watch your large group teaching video on our Roku channel. Our Roku channel is a public channel, so if you have Roku at home, you are welcome to download the Parkway channel, and you can watch any of the things that we have on the Parkway Roku channel. You can watch Mike's sermon live. You can watch any of our videos that we're teaching for kids. You can use our worship songs. In fact, you can use this with your family throughout the week. So I encourage you, use this as a tool to help you grow and to understand everything a little bit better. That'll also help you understand how to use it once you're with us. Then your small group activity, you have some prism cards and look like this, and some wood sticks that look like this. And what the kids are going to do is draw on their prism card what they think the invisible army looked like. And then they can write on the back of it. It encourages you here to write, the wisest thing I can do is what God says. And that is true. That's very true. So you could have them write that. But you could also have them write, God shows me his character by providing for me, by providing for and protecting me. Let's write that. God shows me his character by protecting me. And so they can write that on the back of their paper. Then you can have the kids put those aside. There's some extra papers there. If they'd like to create some more things, they are welcome to do that. Feel free to use up your papers as long as there's enough available for both services. God shows me his character by protecting me. All right, I'll make sure that I get that in your notes. All right, then your key passage activity is, your key passage is Colossians 1:16 through 17. And it says, all things have been created through him and for him. He is before all things, and in him all things hold together. Key passages help us remember that the story we are learning about hundreds of years before Colossians is written reminds us that God's character is the same as it was then, as it is in Colossians, as it is now, thousands of years later. That God has never changed. He is the same. He was there in the beginning. Everything was created by him and for him. He is before all things, and through his son Jesus, all things hold together. We are together in his family to bring him glory, to worship him, and to share who Jesus is. It's amazing when we use the Bible to prove the Bible. And what we want kids to see in this key passage is that we use the Bible as a way to help us understand who God is, and that God's word continues to prove over and over and over again exactly what God's word showed at the very beginning, as we read about in Genesis. And so we can trust God's word. Many of our kids do not come with that background, so we need to help them understand that when we say we go to the Bible, this is why. Show them where Genesis is, or where 2 Kings is. Show them where Colossians is. Show them how much time truly has passed between those two things, because there's the chunk of book you're going to go through to get to Colossians, that really does represent how much time it was before God was able to share Paul's words in Colossians. All right, that was a lot of words. You have your discussion questions as well. Some of these discussion questions are very specific answers, so be mindful of your group. They may not have picked up all of those details from the video. That's okay. What we want to do through these questions, though, is to help them understand that all the things that were happening in the story. So these questions are to help you go back and point out to them all the things that were happening in the story, and that God was orchestrating this story to help us understand his character. All right, and you can pray with your kids and wait till their family comes to pick them up. Thank you so much for leading. I love you guys. I'll see you guys soon.